Demand in Orange County could soon be skyrocketing because of the recent Los Angeles fires. There are tens of thousands of people that have been displaced from their home and as a result have been looking for short-term options to live rather than buying a home. And we've seen the stories where landlords are only accepting leases that are 2 or 3 times the monthly rent of what the home is listed for. Now there are a small handful that are just straight up price gouging, relisting their house for double what it was worth. I know a few people personally who have offered $10,000 above the monthly rent just so they can get into the house. There are some homes that are being listed for $5,000 a month and the landlords are saying, we're only accepting $15,000 a month, but we can't legally raise our rent to $15,000, and people are paying this. Some people are even paying 6 to 12 months up front just so they can get into a house and wait and see what happens with the insurance if their house is going to be rebuilt. But I want to discuss this possibility where homeowners just don't rebuild. And we have seen quite a few famous and very successful real estate agents discuss the idea that all the Palisades victims, at least over half of them, will not be moving back to the Pacific Palisades and will have no interest in rebuilding their house. Now, as a result, these wealthy individuals will be buying elsewhere. And I want to point out Orange County as likely the next spot where a lot of these homeowners could choose to go. But first, if you're new here, my name is Iain Phillips. I'm a local realtor here in Orange County and I help buyers and sellers all the time. People are reaching out to me constantly asking questions. So if you have any questions about the market, individual cities, where would make sense for you to buy, what your house might be worth, you can reach out anytime. I'd love to chat and see if I'd be a good fit for you. Let's get into the video. So we all know there are thousands of homes that were recently lost in Los Angeles. Not only the Pacific Palisades, but Altadena and a couple other areas as well. And as a result, people have been fleeing into leases just to begin the battle with insurance, find out if they're going to get paid out, and then they can start the permitting process to rebuild their house. But what a lot of people are not aware of is we can point to other times in history where thousands of homes were lost. Now, not quite to this extent, and certainly not as costly as this. But in other times, there was an enormous wait list to even start the rebuilding process. Now, in California, there is a huge issue with just getting permits. And can you imagine thousands of people all doing this at the exact same time? There just simply are not enough contractors who are willing and able to rebuild all of these homes. In fact, just to start one house, it can take a significant amount of time. Already, people are saying with a very high likelihood that there will be a 4-year wait list just to have a contractor who's ready to start building on your house. Now, I want you to put yourself in that person's shoes just for a moment. Would you want to rent 4 to 5 years before your house can even start to be built? You're just going to miss out on a huge opportunity in other areas and continuing to pay an abnormally high rent amount just for that. Now, sure, there will be some people that have second homes in other parts of Southern California. They can live and monitor their home, start the process with insurance, look for contractors, and then monitor that house while it's being rebuilt. But in my opinion, there will be a huge number of people who are just going to pack up their stuff and say, I just want to start the next chapter of my life somewhere else, clean slate, and just move on from this area. And in my opinion, people will likely be flocking to Orange County because there aren't really any neighboring areas outside of Los Angeles that would make sense for that next move. Already, I've seen this huge trend of people over the last couple years wanting to get out of Northern California, out of the Bay Area, out of Los Angeles, and move into Orange County. We have 6 of the 10 safest cities in the entire state of California. The quality of life here is just completely different from most areas that I've visited in the United States. I've lived in about 10 to 15 different countries in my life, and in all honesty, Orange County has the highest quality of life that I have ever experienced. So I think over the next 3 to 6 months, there's probably going to be a large number of individuals that start to realize, holy shit, I'm gonna have to wait 4 to 5 years before I can even start rebuilding my home. I think I'm just gonna sell this piece of land and buy something somewhere else. Now, a lot of these individuals will be very wealthy due to the areas that this fire happened, and as a result, they will be looking for that next high-end area to move to, and it's probably going to be Orange County. And the problem I see with that is the lack of available homes for sale in Orange County. We've seen inventory trending down for the last 4 to 6 months, while buyer demand has remained pretty steady. So if this trend continues where we start to see more buyers stepping into the market later in 2025, we could potentially see a bidding war again. Now, I'm not 100% certain this is going to happen, but in my opinion, I think Orange County is going to outpace LA, certainly in demand. Over the last 20 to 25 years, Orange County has already been outpacing almost all of LA in terms of appreciation. Home values have been skyrocketing here, while they have been on a very choppy trajectory in Los Angeles. Obviously, LA is a huge area, so certain parts have been increasing drastically, certain parts have been declining. But Orange County as a whole has been on an uptrend for quite some time now. And I think we are going to continue seeing this trend where people want to get out of areas that have been burdened by higher crime rates, lots of natural disasters, and move into areas that haven't seen much of that. Crime rates are extremely low in 90% of Orange County because there are just certain rules that are enforced here that are not enforced in other parts of California. So as 2025 plays out, it's going to be interesting to look back and see if there was a moment during the year where a lot of people realized, I don't want to live in LA anymore. I cannot be bothered to wait 5 years for my home to be built. I'm just going to go somewhere else, because we've already seen that trend with lease prices skyrocketing. So if you have any questions about Orange County, if you're curious about what the market is like here, reach out. I'd love to chat. Once again, my name is Iain Phillips. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more.